Welcome back to the CryptoWorld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now Ethereum is running into some resistance in the short term, while the price of Bitcoin just confirmed a new pattern on the daily time frame that we need to pay attention to. So more on that in just a moment. Definitely stick around. First of all, as I mentioned in my last video, the larger trend on the daily time frame still has not changed as of right now. But even though the price of Bitcoin is technically still within a larger bearish trend, we could be about to see a pause in this bearish trend, kind of like what we saw back here, for example, because one of the important signals we saw on the chart back then during around the middle of September was a massive bullish divergence on the daily time frame, with the price action forming lower lows and the RSI forming higher lows, and in fact beginning more of an uptrend in the daily Bitcoin RSI, which basically formed a pause within the larger bearish trend, where the price basically just chopped around sideways and even had a small rally towards the end of that pause within the larger bearish trend. And what we're seeing right now in the daily Bitcoin RSI is potentially the beginning of an uptrend form in this indicator, because as of right now, we have already seen higher lows form in the daily Bitcoin RSI, and we're potentially seeing a higher high form in the daily Bitcoin RSI as well. And if that confirms, then that would essentially confirm more of a bullish trend forming in this indicator, which once again points towards a pause within the larger bearish trend. So this doesn't necessarily mean a massive trend reversal on the daily time frame, but what it does mean, based on everything that we've seen so far this year, is that we're due to see either some sideways price action or even a slight bullish relief before potentially continuing the bearish trend later on, depending on what we see at that stage. And not only are we just seeing higher lows in the daily Bitcoin RSI, this is also combining with lower lows in the daily Bitcoin price if you're looking at the candle closes. And as I mentioned in my last video that I posted yesterday on the channel, this is obviously a bullish divergence, and since then we've now seen a daily candle close in the green, which technically confirms this bullish divergence in place. And so technically speaking, we now have an active bullish divergence on the daily time frame playing out right now. And once again, what a bullish divergence technically means is that we're due to see reduced bearish momentum. So after all of this bearish price action that we've seen over the last few weeks, it is now much more likely that we basically slow that bearish price action for the time being and either play out some choppy sideways price action or a slight bullish relief. Once again, reduced bearish momentum, so not as much downside price action here on the daily time frame. And generally speaking, a bullish divergence on the daily time frame plays out over around 1 to 2 weeks on average, which means based on this technical signal, one of the most likely scenarios, at least over the next week or so, is most likely going to be some choppy sideways price action. And most of that price action is likely going to occur in between this price range right here. So in between this range of support coming into play at around 15.7 to 15.8k, and this range of resistance coming into play at around 16.9k to 17k. So basically, it's likely that at least in the short term, the price is going to range in between around 17,000 and around 15.7k approximately. And now, if you're simply a Bitcoin hodler, then obviously this choppy sideways price action isn't really too exciting, because for example, back here, if you've simply held the same amount of Bitcoin, obviously your position has not changed since back here. We've basically just gone sideways. But for a trader, on the other hand, a choppy sideways price range like this is a gold mine, because you can actually make money on each of these downwards movements and upwards movements, which essentially generates a lot of profit while we're basically chopping around sideways. And if you want to know more about that, then stick around to the end of this video. But anyway, just before getting into the Ethereum part of this video, just zooming out to the weekly Bitcoin chart, letting you know that technically we're still forming this potential bullish divergence on the weekly time frame, this much larger bullish divergence. But technically speaking, this bullish divergence on the weekly time frame still needs to be confirmed with a green weekly candle close, and this next weekly candle close happens in around 4 days from now. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum Ethereum part of this video. This right here is the daily ETH to US dollar chart, and over the last 1 to 2 days, we've clearly seen a bounce from just above this Fibonacci level of support, which was sitting at around 1,050 to 1,060, but instead the price of ETH actually bounced from around 1,070, where this previous low was sitting at. And like I said in my last video, even though we don't have a bullish divergence here for ETH, we are still seeing the histogram within the daily Ethereum MACD rise towards the 0 level, which basically means we're seeing reduced bearish momentum, and eventually when it crosses above that 0 level into the green, that is of course a bullish cross, which can act as a bullish signal, for example, like what we saw during October. But as of right now, we are not yet at that stage, and instead we're potentially more at a stage like this, where we've just completed a bearish leg to the downsides, and right now we're potentially about to begin a bit of a pause within this larger bearish trend, kind of like back here once again. But something else to mention is that right now, as of recording this video, the price of ETH is currently finding some resistance along this previous golden pocket level of support, which is coming into play in between around 1180 up to around 1210. So approximately 1.2k is now acting as new resistance for the price of ETH, at least just in the short term. And once again, I spoke about that in my last video as well. But now if you zoom into the short term, looking at the 4-hour Ethereum to US dollar chart, as of recording this video, the price of ETH is finding some resistance along this previous level of support, which is sitting at around 1190. And also, if you extend this line of resistance a little further, you can see that obviously the price of ETH still hasn't broken above this descending line of resistance, which is also sitting at around 1190. But if the price of ETH can confirm a break above around 1190, so above this descending line of resistance, then that could signal the final stage for a potential bump and run reversal pattern that's forming right now on the chart, because basically we already have the lead-in phase for this pattern, we already have the bump, and all we need to see is the confirmed break above this level of resistance at around 1190 approximately. And if that happens, then we will see the run phase, the final phase for a bump and run reversal pattern. And the technical price target for a bump and run reversal pattern is the beginning of the lead-in phase, which is right back here at around 1.3k approximately. So if we see a confirmed break above that level of resistance, then we could see a gain in the price of ETH of around 11% to the upside. But once again, it is important to understand that as of right now, the price of ETH has not yet confirmed this breakout, so we have not yet confirmed that technical price target. That price target only gets confirmed if we see that breakout first. And now, if you want to know how to maximize your profits in crypto during a bullish move, a bearish move, or even if the price is chopping around sideways, then make sure to check out these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left of your screen shows you how to make money in crypto if the price is going either up or down, and the video in the bottom left of your screen shows you how to make money in crypto in a choppy sideways price range. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next video.